stage right stream. Cool. Here we are, getting right into it. So I opened Stage Right up. I am running the newest version of the app, which is Stage Right Anywhere. So before they revamped all of this, it was like one app that you downloaded. It's called the Legacy app now. I think I might still have it somewhere. Maybe I took it off my iPad. But, so it was... No, that's not what I wanted. I don't even, super remember how it was set up, because I downloaded it, and then was really intimidated by it, and then never ever used it again. But, kind of got over the learning curve, because there was a pretty steep learning curve with it, at least in my experience, and just got it going. So, here we go. I'm just gonna get going. We are starting fully from scratch here. I'm going to choose charts and script for this one. Charts and score is super useful, but the setup of the score, and I'll show it to you in a little bit, is just a lot more than I really have time or patience for. TBH. Which was this? Great. So here we are. While we're here doing this quietly, I'm going to go ahead and say it out loud. I am not an official representative of Stage Right or anything having to do with this app. I just have had I've had a lot of people ask me about going digital as a stage manager, and blocking is always the hardest thing, I feel like, to transfer over. Like, you can make a cue script or a call script, you can do all your paperwork digitally, and that's pretty easy, but blocking is hard because you spend so much time perfecting your method, and it becomes second nature to you, and then you want to transfer that method into the computer, but that's just a lot. So I understand having a learning curve, and blocking being the hardest thing. So yeah, I just feel like this app was really, really instrumental and helpful in kind of streamlining my going digital process. I know what you're thinking, but Tiffany, it's only March. Not even. Yes, this play does happen in June, friends. Double check our opening date. So if you're watching on YouTube, I think you're able to comment, and I should get little pop-up notifications about it if you have questions or anything, if you're joining along with us and watching live on the YouTubes. While all of that pulls up, I just want to double check some deets on that script. Is this the most important information in the world to contain? No. But I like having all my boxes filled out. Schwartzy. June 7th when we open. Alright. Great, done. So this next part is the part that I always get stuck on. It's uploading the dimensions and the ground plan and everything for the stage. I just can never get my scale quite right, and it's always super annoying. But we're going to figure this out together, friends. Oh, I don't like that noise in this song. Let's see. $56 plus 16 is... Okay. I buy it. But Tiffany, your stage can't possibly be that big. Ah, it kind of is. We're adding to the ground plan for this one kind of a bump out and an extension to buy us some stage space as well as some decking that we can kind of use it for traps and whatnot. But yeah, so that's why that's like that. And then we need depth of stage. Why is Dropbox not loading anything right now? That is super annoying. Oh, you know what? I'm probably using up all the internet because I'm streaming live. Dummy. I wrote this down somewhere. Right. So this is just like a grid, right, of the dimensions I just set up. So we're going 26 back. Every square is 2 feet in either direction. And so here's my center line, and we're going off of it. So I could very well just leave it like this, and then this is what would show up for all my charts. But because I have a blank ground plan to use, we're gonna, that looks right. Yeah, so that actually looks probably the most right I've ever had this look. Oh, I see. So I need to shrink it a little bit because if you notice these... Oh, no, just kidding. The red lines went away. Why did that happen? What I thought those red lines were telling me is that the set piece is bigger than the space allotted, which I've run into before, and it just has a hard time kind of putting, like, if you were to go print out your charts, it just would have a hard time printing all of it. Like, I ran into some blank chart printouts once upon a time. But yeah, so anyway, there that is. That's the ground plan. So now it's going to be the bottom layer of all my charts, so I can plop other stuff in, and I'll show you that. But also, that ground plan has now been added to the set pieces drawer. So all of this stuff is stock furniture. We'll get into that later. But all this stuff, I'll pull it out and stick it around on this thing. Stock furniture that Sage Right provides. Yeah. And then the ground plan is up there. So if I needed to drop in a duplicate of it for some reason, or maybe layer or something, I don't really know what purpose that would serve in this particular instance, but it's there as an option. Great, so there's that. That is my permanent stage. You can set your number line here. Show marker every... I think they go every 2 feet, right? Show marker every 2 feet. Cool. Great, so there's that. So now we have set pieces. This is where if we had like a specialty prop that was designed like that I can't just pull from their stock of stuff. In the past I've taken, let me see if I have any sitting in my camera roll. I've just taken screenshots of like renderings of things. I deleted most of them. But say this was a rendering of a flat that had that print on it, right? I could say Sailor Moon flat and give it a 4x8 dimension, right? And then I'd save it. So now we'll see it when we get into the actual chart, but now that is a set piece that I can plop in on my ground plan if I needed to. So that's that. Set pieces. We don't have a full packet in for the show yet. We're still pretty early in the design process, so I don't really have anything to add to this later. But you can go back and add set pieces in here at any point during the process. What you cannot do is go back and change that ground plan that we laid down, like this. Can't change once you have... once you've put scenes in, or if you've created set pieces. So, like, I can go back in and change my set pieces that I've created, but I cannot change any of the things about the stage dimensions, or, like, see here, it's already blocked off the width and depth and offstage options. I think I can come in and change, yeah, that can change. But, like, the permanent stage itself, the work surface, I guess you could consider it, is not going to change. Cool. So now we get to the tedious part, because this is a big old cast. And I'm going to plug in some cast member names here and show you how that works. Once I pull up my cast list. So you can see that I've got 3 different shapes. So, okay, cool. Performer name, I chose. Character name, I'll probably do it for the 8, like, principal, or whatever, how many named characters there are. And then these are typically initials. So, yeah, initials, name, whatever. Text color, icon shape. Alright, so now we're just going to make a bunch of those. I'm going to go back in and change that. We're just going by person name here. Dara, I'm glad you're living for this. I am also living for this. Only 41 names to go. move that backwards. This is the first time I'm... Cool! Nailed it, me! I'm glad I said your name right, Dara. I was nervous about it after I said it. And then I did it, and it came out like it was meant to be. But I was saying, this is the first time I've typed out everyone's initials. So this is where it's gonna dawn on me what duplicate initials we have. So yeah. No. Turn the music up. Changing the shape for this actor because they have like a featured role, but are largely part of an ensemble. So I'm keeping their colors the same as the principals, so that their little picture, their little icon is easy to pick out in a group. But I'm making them the same shape as what I'm going to make the group at large that this person is a part of. Dara just asked how has Sage Right changed me as a stage manager. I feel like I'm able to get a lot more detailed with Sage Right than I was ever able to get handwriting all of my blocking. I take very narrative notes. I know a lot of people diagram a lot, which is also where Sage Right can be super helpful. But I take much better narrative notes. I just think better that way. Because I more or less transcribe what the director is saying to do, the blocking they're giving. So I'm able to write that down, and that's helpful for the director because they have it in their terms. It's easier for the actor because if you ever have to give blocking notes to an actor, because it's coming back to them in the terms they gave you. And of course, there are times that it's clear to write your own stuff out. But, I mean, you know how it goes. But yeah, I think Sage Right has allowed me to take a lot more detailed notes that way. We just, over Christmas, I did a pretty ridiculous production of Elf where I had to put 3 people in who didn't have officially have understudies. And I had really, really, really good detailed notes to be able to run some put-ins that I don't know if I would have had as clearly if I had been taking all of that blocking down just by hand. So yeah, that's that. It's also made diagramming a lot easier for me. Not having to use sheets and sheets of paper, and I'll show you that if I ever get all of these actor names in. Trying to make the colors look like the poster colors, just to be cute. We'll go orange. So this is a different ensemble. We kind of split our ensemble up into just different factions, and this person is grouped here. So now there's going to be so now I've got 3 different sets of shapes, right? I've got my principals, which are this square shape, and then I've got this round storyteller group and this diamond storyteller group. So we're going to keep going at it that way. and change these. I think I'm making a different decision about color. I can't place the blue I want. There. Ah, that is a much better color, friends. Especially if I just want it to match the logo. So StageRight is a program that you pay to use. You pay a subscription like you would Spotify or Netflix or any of that stuff. There are different tiers of it. I'm on the unlimited tier solely because it lets you do more than one production at a time, which I often am. And then unlimited, like the... Ew, no, that color's gross. What was I saying? Oh, so it's split up into tiers. It's like the trial level, and then a view only level, and then student, and then unlimited. I think it's those levels. But like the most expensive level is the $9.99 a month, which is unlimited. So it's totally manageable. For that level, if I'm doing more than one show, you can do. I think the student level is like $5.99, and that gives you all the same things as the unlimited, but I believe the only difference is it's one show at a time. So that's an option. And then, I mean, you can always download the trial version and click around in it. There's no harm in doing that. Yeah, so that's how, like, pricing and tiering works for them. I don't love that color. It's probably the best we got. Hi, Brittany! Brittany just got home, guys. That kind of looks like the colors on the album art. Kinda. Hi, Benjamin. I hang on, let me look back at that question. So it was, largest cast I've used it for, no, I used it for Big Fish over the summer at the rec, where we had somewhere around, like, mid-40s in the cast. Hi, Brittany. I also used it for Footloose this past summer. I also used it for Footloose this past summer, and we have, like, 50-some in that cast. So, yeah, this will be the third time-ish that I use it with a cast this big. And that super comes in handy for diagramming and stuff. It's a lot easier to just plop icons into a ground plan than write out 55 people's initials. I only have to write out 55 people's initials once. I just realized. Yes. Got some different classifications here in the black squares that I just need to tidy up. It's fine. Doesn't matter. So I have duplicate names, but not duplicate initials here. We're cutting it close. Right, I don't have another JJ. I do, but it's a different shape altogether. Again, I'm about to have duplicate names, but we are different ensembles. So that's nice. Already did that. I am using my iPad. My laptop actually tragically died in a coffee spill incident during rehearsals for Frog and Toad. It was tragic. It did not last the day. So now I do everything on my iPad. Which for the most part is fine. StageRight with this new update, StageRight Anywhere, you can access on any browser, on any machine. I say machine like my dad used to as a network engineer, but I can get onto it on the app on my iPad. When I had my laptop, I was able to just log in via their browser app. There's a different word for that I'm looking for that I can't remember right now. But just using a browser and had all the same functionalities. There are a couple of things that you can do on a computer that you can't do in the iPad app. Biggest thing that I have found is uploading a script. So once I plug through these names. I'll show you what it looks like when you go to import the PDF of your script. You can't do it here, so I'll get it started on my iPad or something while I'm doing other stuff. But yeah, so there are a couple functionality differences, but overall it's the same. No. It looks like Halloween in this performer queue. Last name. Not Zek. What kind of name is that? Great. So cast is all uploaded. We're all here. So in scenes, this is okay. So when you set this up, you plug your scene in, right? So if we're looking at the Children of Eden isn't really broken up into scenes as much as it is songs. So we'll go through and plug these in. But these really are only useful for your charts. You can't, or if you were using the score, I'll open up a file that I set up with a score and show it to you, but you can assign chunks of dialogue and stuff to the scenes. I wish, like, ideal dream world, there would be a way where we could link the PDF of the script to these scenes, and use them kind of like tabs, or like a table of contents almost, but that is not a thing that can happen. I don't know if it's a thing that ever will happen, but that's my, like, super ideal situation. I would skip right into the file without it being fully done, but I think it's worth it showing you all the setup, because I think all the setup is what turned me off to Stage Right the first time around. It was just a lot more work than I really wanted to put in at the time, but I find it really helpful. It's still, obviously, a lot of pretty tedious work, especially on a big cast or a big show like this. Luckily, I don't have a lot of, like, custom scenic pieces to load in, or that would have also taken quite a while. But all that to say, I feel like the setup is what can be deceptive about it, so it's worth showing it to ya. That's not real. I'm gonna do this real quick. I'm double tapping your raw. Double tap row to edit scene name. What am I doing wrong? Well, we're going to delete it and come back to this later. Because then I can just add a 19 and move it up. I'm going to check this real quick so you can see what's going on. And so, I mean, just like on any other app, if you go to reorder things, you can do that with your scenes. I need my Dropbox window back. And we're on to Act 2. Alright, so that is all the scene names. I'll call that there. Chart settings. Yes, I do want to show the number line. I want to show the center line. This, if you do vertical or horizontal lines, I'll show it to you. It sets up like a grid, essentially. I don't like having it because I feel like it gets messy, but sometimes it is helpful. So chart numbering is going to, I believe that refers to the numbering order of the charts, like and how they fall in line when you add them. Point of view is the orientation of your chart, so from the audience is how I do it. Performer placement shows the, like, it hovers a number above the performer's head where it is on the number line. And then this is how specific you can get with it. So I'm fine within the number. Performer body direction. I'm going to leave it at no. What it does is it adds like a little, I'll put it yes just so you can see it. It adds like a little tick mark to show performer front. I always kind of base it off of because there are letters in the shape, like the orientation of the letters, as the, like, if you're looking at the letters right side up, you're looking at performer front. But that's just another way to get things real clear. Should we lines overlap? No, that's fine. Great, so this would be where if I had collaborators, I could add them, but this is another one of those things that you can not do on the iPad app. You have to do it from the web app. It's not really a big deal for me because I don't really have anybody else who uses StageRight, so I don't need to add collaborators really. Great. So we have done all of the setup for this production. We did the production details, we added all the stage dimensions. Don't have any set pieces except for the Sailor Moon flat we're going to test out. Performers are all here. Did all the scenes. Check my chart settings. We're good. So I'm just going to X out of this. Now we are in the StageRight file. So it does this a lot. All this updating and syncing, because you can access it from anywhere. It constantly wants to make sure that your stuff is up to date, which is awesome. But what I end up doing a lot is taking it off of, like, taking it and working offline with it. Thank you, sync, because then it's not syncing every single time something is changed, which is awesome and great, but if your Wi-Fi isn't awesome in your workspace, or you just don't have the time necessarily, because your entire app essentially freezes. If the Wi-Fi were better where I work, I'm sure it would be fine, but Wi-Fi is a struggle. Okay, but here we are. This is the charts setting. So you'll see over here are all the scenes that we just set up. So I can pick any one of them. Let's say we're doing Spark of Creation. No charts here. I'm going to put that to the side so we can see everything. So I would tell it to add a blank chart. So here's that setup. And this is what I was talking about with the horizontal and vertical lines. Like it made a grid, essentially, which is helpful, but it looks real busy, and it makes me a little bonkers. So we're going to go ahead and change that real quick. Things like the chart settings are really easy to go in and change. It's when you try and get fussy with the actual scenic design of it that it gets funky. But like this, we should be able to open it back up and see. Yeah, sweet. Awesome, clean chart. So we're here. You can work on the chart works in layers, similar to like Photoshop or any of those other editing tools. So it's got kind of an easy, like, you can't see my finger, but you see how the layer stacks are highlighted. So in the shorter stack is where they recommend doing your like permanent scenery. So let's say that this Sailor Moon flat, this 4x8 Sailor Moon flat that we added, comes here on the ground plan. Right, so now I'm putting that there. I'm going to put a little bench down here. And we're going to change its angle a little bit. Ugh. This dark ground plan may be a problem, but we'll deal with that. Never, because I don't want to delete 55 actors. But yeah, okay, cool. So there's that. So now we've got our furniture here on our bottom layer. We'll add one more thing. We'll add a bar stool over here on the extension. Cool, great. So you'll also notice the furniture they provide has these dimensions here. So when you drop it on your ground plan, it should drop in scale, which is pretty helpful. So now I'm going into the multi-layer situation. I don't know what the official name for that is, but you'll see I'm tapping on the bench and the stool and the flat, and I can't select them at all. So they're going to stay there until I come here, even if I tell this to work in a bottom layer. But so now I could go in here into this green room drawer. Sorry. I don't know if that's the drawer or if this is, either way. This must be the drawer. But so you can come over here and pull out whoever you need. Let's say I want Tristan out here. So you tap in, it pops out, and oh yeah, this ground plan's going to be the biggest pain in my life. We're going to have to go back in and fix that, but it's fine. It's fine. So look, now I have Tristan, and I don't know who this is because I don't know everyone's names yet, Ava. Look, they're out. I just tapped this little person to put the drawer away, so it's out of my way. I may like that better. Usually I use it up here in the float, but I like having it over there. But anyway, so I can move these two around. I can shift their angle. You see the number up top shows where she is on the number line. And then that little T mark down there shows her orientation. So those are those things I was talking about. They're useful, I find, when you have a cast as big as this, and when you're going to have that many people on stage, the less extra stuff I can have on that chart, the better. So I'm going to pull them off. Where were we? Spark of Creation. That's just cleaner for me. Yeah, and then I know that when the letters are the right way, like that's performer front, performer facing stage left, performer facing upstage, facing stage right. You get it. Cool. So there's my chart. I can go in and add any of these shapes if I need. I can change their color. I can do any of those things with it. So let's say that Ava over here needs to cross around Tristan. I can take the freehand tool and just mark her path out. And then this little arrow, if you need to move it around or flip its orientation, or you can also connect shapes, which is useful, or group them. So I just grouped Ava and her path, and now I can scoot her over here. So do the same exact thing, but do it over there. Cool, great, done. That's awesome. But now she's not going to the bench, and that's a dumb move. What silly blocking that was, director. So they're going to come back over here. But, so let's say... ...3D model top view. This ground plan happens to be just what I have for this one, because we don't have, like, official things turned in yet. This is just the base. This is what's in the space. I'm usually, like, I prefer I don't need a 3D model. 3D models throw me off on paper. So I'm like, I'd rather work with a regular drafted this, but in grayscale. By grayscale, I mean only black and white. And by only black and white, I mean I just want white with outlines. Yes. Cool. So this is chart 8.1. It's chart 8 because it's associated with scene 8 or song 8. It's scene 8 but since we numbered everything, it worked out that it associates with its song number, which is super helpful. So, I can add some more charts. I can add a duplicate. I can add the next chart, which keeps everything where it is, but erases any of those directional arrows. So here I am. Look, Ava made it over here to the bench. Great. So that's charts. I mean, you can add all sorts of shapes and things. Change their fill and change their color and all that stuff. Yeah, so that's that. And then the other thing you can do in here is you can plop a Q line or a, we're going to call this the time that I streamed on the internet. Check mark that, and now that's... No, we're good, dude. Save it. Thank you. Cool. So now that's there as its cue. So... Great. Awesome. That's that. But I'm going to take us online for a sec. So yeah, it's great that it syncs every single time like this because it means it's keeping stuff up to date. But it can really slow down the process on occasion, particularly in times where the Wi-Fi is not awesome. Okay, cool. So let's say I was to upload one of these charts. We'll say chart 8.2. You can do... so these are the options that it gives you. No, stop it. Anyway, that drawer that I just pulled up was full of the options for creating PDFs of this stuff. What you have to do, you have to do while you're online, so you can do all of your charts and your script, do all of the charts for the production, or just the script, or like these current scenes. I'm going to tell it to do the current scene charts. Great. So now it's going to work on that PDF over here, and then it'll pop up in that window. We'll get a little update when it's ready to go. Cool. So that's charts. You can move things around however you want. If you just want to move it around within, that's fine. But then if, like, the dragging around is fine. But if you need to move it between scenes, you would go here and then pick, I want this to go to Tree of Knowledge. Great. Done. So now they are where they are. On your iPad, I don't remember if you can do this on the web app. You can lock it like this. Right, so you don't have any edit options, and you can just swipe through your charts. I don't have anything here. You can see if you look at your bottom left corner that it's swiping through scenes. So here's that chart that we dragged a second ago, flipping through, and that's useful for teaching and all that type of stuff. I'm going to unlock and go back here. Alright. So, that's charts. So I got the script option here. I don't have my script here yet. I've got to do it using the browser. So I'm going to put this down for a second and start the upload process on this script. We'll see how that goes, because it is I work from like a Frankenstein version of the script and score, and this one happens to be like 400 plus pages. So we'll see how that upload works out. Tiffany, if you have a laptop available to you, why are you using your iPad? It's a beautiful Dell running Windows Vista that I have available to me right now, and I'm very grateful for it, because without it, I couldn't do things like upload scripts into StageRight production files, but otherwise I'm pretty much able to use the iPad for everything. Like, I use all of the native word processing things, so everything in pages and numbers and all that transferred over pretty well. Yeah, I'm rambling right now. Don't mind me. Children of Eden. Import new script. Let's see how this goes. $460 pages about to get processed up into StageRight. So that'll probably take a minute. I don't know what else to look at in here right now. I'll look and see if I can do anything for the stage, even though I know full well I cannot. Oh wait. Oh, amazing. Oh, we're gonna fix this. We're gonna save this ground plan, guys. Am I doing this the fastest, easiest way? Who knows? So much better. This just made my life. Is it gonna be a messy ground plan? Yes. But sometimes it's all you got, you know? Cool. Super legit. We're gonna keep this up while StageRight uploads the script. Processing page 127 of 460. We'll be there soon, friends. Oh. That's a big mama. No. I don't want it that translucent. But I do want it pretty translucent, because this is useful to know. Okay, I have a plan. Don't panic, anyone. We're gonna go back into StageRight. Hopefully I'm not gonna cause some weird nonsense to happen, because I've got it open in two places. but it should be fine. This is a test of what it can handle. We're going to upload another set piece. Oh, it's about to freeze on me. Hang on, internet. Oh, I made Stage Right mad. We're going to close it out real quick. Here she is. Alright. We're going to try uploading that image of the ground plan again. Set design, but better. Save. Cool. Great. Now we're going to add some shapes in here, like lines and things, actual straight lines that I'm not going to mess up. No! I want you on the bottom layer. I want you. This is the part where I look like I don't know what I'm doing. And there's probably way faster and more efficient ways to do this. This is what I've got right now, friends. And then another shape. I think your legs is what you are. No. Copy paste. Scoot this friend over here. Great. Done. I'm gonna paste again and put you down here. And color it red, because that's the color of the curtain. What fun we're having. What else do you can throw in? I think that's it. And then just like the actual box. But it's fine. It's messy. But it's my mess and I love it. Okay, great. So, that should have updated now. Oh god, I'm going to cause like a rift in the matrix or something. Cool. So, spark of creation. Yes. So, change this back to having all this stuff. But everything, you can see everything is exactly where I left it. It's just, oh no, my red friend. I'll go back in and fix that. You can just see it now, because it's not on a black background. We're at page 315 of 460 right now on the web app. So we should be close. I'm going to go back in and fix this. What are you doing over here? No, that's probably why that was over there. There. Yeah, we'll call it 341 of 460. Cool. I should have started uploading that faster. But that's okay. Because once that's there, there's not a whole lot more to show you. I don't think. There are still things that that like the app is updating and things that I'm learning. Oh, we can look at the PDFs? No, so we're not there yet. lots of things that are being updated, and yeah, so I'm sure there will be more things to come. Maybe my magical table of contents idea will make it into an update. Wink, wink, stage right. Yeah. Almost there with the script. Oh, while we're waiting, let's go back to my root. So I talked about the score a little bit, and I haven't done it a whole lot. I did it for one show because it was short, and the music was pretty simple, so it was an easy enough thing to put the score together for. So once I'm all synced up, I will open up that Year with Frog and Toad charts and score file. Every time I talk about being synced up, it always gets stacked together. Update. Probably got about 15 more minutes of this, and then I'll head out. It's Masked Singer finale tonight on Fox, if any of you are watching The Masked Singer. It's kind of a mess, and I'm kind of hate watching it, but I'm still watching it every week. But that finale is at 8, so I've got to roll out to catch that. But I want the script to upload so that I can click around in it a little bit before ending. Okay, here we are. So this is Frog and Toad. I'm showing you the score and what that looks like. So, like with the charts, this you can open up and you can already see a little bit of it. So here, why does this look like this? Oh, okay. Cedric got real mad, but that's fine. I would be too if I was trying to do all these stupid things that I was doing right now. Let's see what happens now. Okay, Frog and Toad TYA. It doesn't crash a whole lot for me, the app. It's only when I'm doing something stupid like this. Like I have the same file open on 2 devices and I'm trying to do a lot to it. So I will give it that. It's, for me anyway, it's been a pretty steady experience. Great. So we're here with the score. We're going to open up Get a Load of Toad. So the score is split up into all these different tables. I liked doing this on my laptop. I struggle with it on the iPad, just because the way, like, just keystrokes and having a mouse available and shortcuts and all that type of stuff is hard to do on my iPad. It might be something I can get the hang of, but right now it's not super conducive to my work situation. Also, I'll show you when the script yes, Benjamin. I don't think I've ever called you Benjamin before. Yeah, keeping up in the rehearsal room is just a learning curve, same as, like you said, same as all things. I spent a lot of time before I use it for the first time testing it out, so I would have Stage Right open and then my blocking script open and taking on my blocking script normally, but if we went through the scene a second or third time and I didn't have to get any notes, I would practice in my Stage Right file, so that when I did use it, I was ready to go and didn't run into any crazy hiccups. And then the first show I used it on, which was Frog and Toad, was a smaller show, like a small enough show to where I felt comfortable going back and forth between my blocking script and the app and making sure that I would get everything. But, yeah, so like I was saying, the score is set up in these chunks of, like, you can set up if it's a 16 count or a 32 count or any count at all. And the way this works is you have a little row for each actor or ensemble or whatever, and then you go in and you type out what they are doing, like, exactly to each beat, which I love. It was a way for me to get super clear and concise with stuff. But it doesn't always look the prettiest. I'm sure there is a better way to do it. Like, so this whole bar here, this table, chart 6.4 that I just selected, is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's 8 counts. So it's meant to be 8 counts, right? This is supposed to cover 2 measures of music. But I looked at it the way that I write my choreo, what's the best way to say this when I can't point at things? So these first 2 squares here, from Toad Looks Funny in Bathing Suit to that turtle right there, for me, that tends to be 8 counts. It's 4 here because the song was in 2/2, or in cut time, or whatever. It was not a full 8. But, yeah, so I think I kind of just misorganized and didn't account for my space the way that I necessarily wanted to. I really like this method of taking blocking down. Like, I could filter out people's blocking if I needed to, right? So I could just give Brian a sheet of his music. You may have seen here that I was able to use their little headshots for their characters. It was super cute and one of my greatest accomplishments. I'll pull up a chart to show you. Neat. Little faces moving around. But so this is an example of a file that I used in show and did all of this is the first file that I used. So I've got details about some scenic stuff here on either side of the stage, placement here. You can kind of see actors' paths. And then this one, maybe. I don't know if I did it for this one. Yes. So the way that you link charts to your score here is so I'm in Get a Load of Toad, right? Chart 6.1 is linked to this table. So I can see that this is if it opens. I didn't use this a whole lot on my iPad. I still was just transitioning over at this point. Oh my god, look at all the charts I did. I did so good. But, so you can see that, like, this is linked to chart 6.1. Also chart 6.1. This is linked to chart 6.2, so I could pull that up, look at chart 6.2, and know that's where we are in the lyrics. I'm gonna check on... Okay. We're close. We're close with this, friends, with this script. But so what I did not like about the score, like this score method, was that I found, so when I call and take blocking and stuff, I use the sheet music and the PC score most of the time. Because I work on a lot of musicals. So I'll pull up another file that has that set up. Yes, update, thank you. Oh man. Thank you. I'm gonna work offline temporarily. So Ella Enchanted, show that I just finished. I always do my show. I run my show from a score script, and it's proven really easy to transfer over, because what I'll do is I'll have my blocking notes in here, so and so enters here. The Bluetooth keyboard is to put it in. So I do all my blocking in this way, and then when I get to tech, what I do is I go through and I pull out all the blocking notes that are not relevant to cueing. So I've essentially been looking at the same script and the same stuff, and the same page numbers and all that this entire time, so I'm not throwing myself off with looking at something different. It also allows for a little overlap, because I can leave blocking in the script through second or third dress rehearsal, just in case somebody needs the notes. And then what I'll do is I'll save the blocking version as a PDF. Yes, I know. I'll save the blocking version as a PDF before I go in and really make any changes to it so that we have the record and we can still keep the book for all intents and purposes. I think we're getting close with this download. Yes, like 4 pages left. So we'll open that download. Ah, there she is. She's beautiful. Alright. I'm going to close the web app on this laptop. Maybe. Okay, and then I'm going to open Children of Eden. I'm going to put us online, and that's going to take a second to sync. I will say that I have run into some problems occasionally with, like, script files that are too big, or, like, ground plans or scenic pieces being a little too big. And some of that was, like, user error on my part, but the people at SageWrite have been really great about getting back to me really quickly when I have a problem and being in communication with me and fixing stuff as quickly as they can. So A+ support on that front. Yes, you can change an actor icon. That's one of those things that's really easy to go in and change once it's in a chart. So like this is, for example, why I don't work online in rehearsal, because anytime I pull up another notification, it goes back and has to resume and sync. So I'm going to pull us offline, see if my script is here. No. Work online. It's a big-ish. It's a very big script, so it would make sense that it's taking a hot second for it to sync up. But that is the biggest problem that I've run into. Okay, so we may have to have another situation where I pull that script up and show you kind of how blocking and everything works. Although I could just do it. I'm just going to do it in one that already exists. So we're going to go offline. Pull up this script, because I know there is blocking in it. So, let me get situated here. Knock this out in a couple minutes, so I can get to the Masked Singer. So you see these icons up here, this little running man, the LQ, and the notes, and the eyeball. The running man is your little blocking friend, so you can take this and circle your cue, add the action either to the left or the right, and then you can do whatever you want to type in for your blocking. It's there, and then you add this little box. You can move it around the page, you can make this longer, and then you can go back in and add your cues and things too. There's really nothing. So the way this looks is different. You'll see that this is just an open line for the cue, and then this is a full, like a box with a thing. But from what I've seen, there's no major difference. Like, it's not like you can select a setting to not show your blocking. Like, I would love to be able to have blocking and cues in here, and then maybe hit, like, not select the cue button, and then see the cues go away, or only see the blocking if I select that. That would be really neat. But again, like, make a crazy wish list. You can do, so this eye that's highlighted right now, if I take that away, it just hides all the notes, so you've got a clean script to look at, which is also helpful sometimes when things get hectic. But it has caused me panic many a times. So yeah, that's what blocking and cueing looks like. You've got all the different colors you can use for your text here. Throw something in. Jointers. So you can go red with it, you can make her bigger, you can bold it. You've got a handful of fonts to select from. Italics, underline. I don't know what this means actually. Let's see. I see. So it's like a little select situation. Okay. And then this is jumps around between words. Probably be more useful if I wasn't constantly using a Bluetooth keyboard, because I don't have my hands on the screen all the time, but that's that. So, and that's there. You can X out of it to get rid of it. Yeah, you've got this notes function that you can just drop a note. Hi, I'm a note. And then do all the same things here with your fonts and movements and all that stuff. So that was that. I'm going to look at charts and script. So, similar to when you could link the charts and the score, you can link the charts to the script. So we're here in the boarding house. I don't know whereabouts we are. But so let's say this is where chart 1.4 happens. I would... Maybe this is going to let me do it. This might not let me change it. Maybe because I'm not online. But normally something you could do... Oh, no. I know what I have to do. You select the section it applies to. Right, so I just ran my finger across it. And now I'm choosing a chart to link. So I'm going to tell it, I want you to link to chart 1.4. So now if I'm ever looking at it in the charts and score version, or sorry, charts and script, I'm just going to come back to it. So it's showing me that this section applies to this formation, chart 1.4, or chart 1.4 applies to this section. You can make it bigger, you can make it smaller, you can X out of it. That sends you right to the chart. So the way that exports, I wish I had something in there. But yeah, so it'll just export essentially the script, and it'll tell you that it'll have this little chart 1.4 window up here. And that's where referring back to if you print your charts out, awesome. If you don't, refer back to chart 1.4 here. And that so looking at the numbering of the chart, that kind of goes back to what I was talking about in our Children of Eden file, where the numbers are just based on, like, the actual scene designation, right? So this is chart 1.4 here. But, like, my scene 3, that's not a good example because there's not a chart there. Well, this is just embarrassing. Great. So my scene 5-6 is chart 11, so it just applies to, like, the order of events. I don't think that my script is going to upload to Children of Eden in time to see that, because it was pretty big. But let's see. This is just a last-ditch effort before I am not doing this anymore, because it's time for the Masked Singer in 12 minutes. All right. Here we go. Children of Eden. Take it home, Janelle Monáe. So a lot of the times I will, if I know I'm working online or I know that I have, like, big things to sync, I'll open up the file and put it on Wi-Fi 10 to 15 minutes before I know I need it, just so that all of the syncing is done and everything is up to date, and then I can work offline for the rest of the day, so I don't have to deal with the pausing and the holding and all that. Yeah. Probably updating that 460-page script. This is super exciting. Thanks for hanging out, friends. Yes, I know, sync failed. We're going to work online. So you can see, so I'm looking at the left column where all my shows are. It shows you what type it is. So this guy has changes on the web iPad, my Children of Eden script. So I'm going to sync it here, and see how long that takes us. Work on, I guess, which is weird. I'm Thank You 5 on literally all social media, Instagram and YouTube and Tumblr. Yeah, like and subscribe, I guess, to help me get a custom URL. That's all I want for 2019, friends. It's a custom URL on YouTube. Thanks. Have an awesome night. And go digital with your stuff, friends.